Hello, everyone, and welcome to the TechTarget special presentation. Thanks for joining me. My name is Jillian Coffin. I'm the Vice President and Group Publisher at TechTarget. We've had a long-standing partnership with the Flash Memory Summit for some years now, and it's just been a great partnership, and I'm so happy they were able to do the virtual event this year so they can extend all of this great content and all of these great keynote presentations to some new audiences across the globe. So for some of you who might not be familiar with TechTarget and what we do, I just wanted to take a minute to kind of explain our business model and kind of where we fit into this whole storage flash ecosystem. TechTarget, we have 10 global websites or web communities that we host across the globe. Some of the sites that are some of the websites that you might recognize would be Search Storage, Search Converge Infrastructure, Search Data Backup. These are sites that have been in market for a long time. We also publish Storage Magazine. It actually used to be a physical magazine, and now we have an online version. So, you know, we've really been involved in leading some of the content and market insights in the storage space for a long time, which is why we've had this great partnership with the Flash Memory Summit team. So, you know, really our model, we produce a lot of content around some of the most important growth topics in the infrastructure space. You know, so whether we're talking about, you know, NAS or how that market's evolving, cloud data management, you know, storage for unstructured data, NVMe of our fabrics, you know, AI ops, whatever the topic is, you know, we are producing content around these topics, and we're doing it to basically meet the information needs of our audiences across these web communities. And because we're producing so much content, we rank really high in organic search for some of the most important high volume search terms in Google. So this means we're getting and capturing a lot of the best, most relevant traffic from Google into our websites. And once the audience comes into our network and they're engaging with content, we're able to, you know, again, see that activity and basically share those insights with our customers. So it's a business model that's working out really well for us, and I think it's really helping to connect storage buyers with storage sellers. So the other important thing I wanted to call out is, you know, TechTarget as a business still really invests heavily in the storage market. We still have a very large dedicated editorial team who covers this space, produces content. We also work with a number of great contributors and experts in the space. A lot of these faces you probably recognize, some of the smartest people in our industry. And really the goal here is to make sure we're putting the best content out there, and content that can really help people solve problems and do their jobs. So, you know, again, just looking at some of these numbers, almost 30 content producers and over 1,000 content pieces that we publish annually, just on some of these granular topic areas. Another thing I wanted to call out is just the way we approach content, because I do think it is something that sets us apart in this, you know, this broader industry. If you think about it, I guess a good way to think about it is sort of different buckets, right? We have industry coverage where and we'll call that news. Basically, if there's, you know, mergers and acquisitions, big product announcements, or you know, things that are worthy of coverage and people need to know about them, we'll cover it. But the bulk of our effort is really around, you know, helping people understand some of these technologies and get started with them, or evaluate and compare vendors or certain solutions and ways to solve problems. And then we have other things like managing and, you know, decision making. And our goal is to really have a balanced amount of content in some of these buckets, because that's really how you help buyers or anybody who's trying to make a decision really move along their journey, right? Wherever we have stuff for you no matter where you are in this process. And that's really important to call out. The other thing that's really interesting about sort of how IT purchases are happening today is just there's so much change with buying team dynamics. We're seeing that there's, in a study we just did, there's about 7 people or more on average who are involved in a purchase for infrastructure right now. So that's a much bigger group of people than we used to see in past years. So there's a lot of change. Gartner talks about the rise of the generalist, right? And we're seeing this. When we track our new to network members or folks who sign up for certain things, we're seeing huge growth in IT generalist titles for storage specific topics. We're seeing a 12% decrease in the new members with storage specific titles. We're seeing more growth in membership, but just we have people who have, our folks in IT that do not necessarily have storage in their title. So again, some interesting dynamics to watch and think about, as a community. We have to be able to educate more people about the benefits of storage. It's such a foundational layer to so many important things right now, whether it be, cloud or AI, hyperscale, high performance computing. Storage is this really important layer. And with more and more people getting involved in these decisions, we need the content to educate them. So TechTarget's going to be doing 4 sessions this week, and I really hope you tune in. We have an annual IT priority survey that we do to 3,500 global technology buyers. So we have some great data from that, some pulse survey that we just did to the data science teams and around AI and machine learning, and just a lot of insights again into the activities of our audiences and folks who we know have had confirmed storage projects in the past year. So a lot of this data you'll see in some of the sessions. We're doing one session is around AI, machine learning. One is around enterprise applications and the role Flash is going to play. We have another one around data growth and a future with zettabytes. And then of course, the pandemic impact on storage spending is a session. And most of these have panels, lots of really great stuff and information that you can get. I have a preview of some of the data that you'll be able to take a peek at in some of these sessions. This is an example of how we're looking at companies' overall response posture post-pandemic. So what are the things that they're spending more on, and what are some of the things that they're spending less on, and just what's top of mind, and how storage companies need to think about this, the role that they play. Just some examples of little changes we're seeing in purchase requirements for Flash projects, where we're seeing a slight uptick or in some cases a very large uptick in one particular purchase requirement from April to September. So this is, again, some data like this. We're also going to be talking about just like topics. You think about NVMe over fabrics or NVMe. We're writing a lot about that particular topic, right? And there's an audience that's engaging with that. But we also, a lot of the content that we produce around NVMe is also around related topics. And sort of measuring that and looking at that is really interesting, because you can sort of start seeing, hey, for the folks who are engaging with NVMe and those audiences, here are some of the other topics that they really care about. Is there a correlation there? And how can we be smart about helping them, with any project or any decision they need to make, and then, where NVMe sort of fits into all of that. Again, last example, again, I'm really looking forward to seeing many of you at some of the sessions this week, but this is a quick preview of our new data science and AI pulse survey, where we ask questions to the data science and machine learning team, where do you focus more of your time? And I thought an interesting thing to call out, especially at the Flash Memory Summit, is that 26% plan on building or running or spend a lot of their time building or running the infrastructure to support this, which is really, interesting. And then we also asked about barriers to entry and, why are they not achieving their full value from the data science, machine learning adoption. And you can see here that, skills, expertise, and just the complexity of all of this are still huge pain points and barriers for many companies. So again, just wanted to show you a sneak peek of some of this data. Please join us at one of our sessions, and we have a booth at the show. So if there's any questions that we can answer, or if you'd like to see any of this data in real time, please don't hesitate to reach out.